Superman's green Krypton poo stank, Amazon gets a Twinkie up its zombie hole, The Walking Dead returns with a stand-up comedy special, and an interview with military fantasy author Mike Cole. Coming up next on Monstrosity. Welcome to Monstrosity, the place to be for news in the worlds of horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. At the end of this episode, Brian Brushwood and Justin Robert Young of the NSFW show bust out a can of very serious movie debate on the June 2013 Superman reboot, Man of Steel. Does anyone want to see yet another super flick after the singer-stinger of the last version? You be the judge, and we'll have that Man of Steel trailer at the end of the episode. Did you love the 2009 movie Zombieland? If you didn't, you probably have an undead heart anyway. If you did love the movie, you are in luck, Chuck, because it's going to be a TV series. Like our report on Eli Roth's series Hemlock Grove going to Netflix, Zombieland is also going to be a straight-to-streaming product. But for Amazon.com's instant video service. Television times, they are a changin', my little mogwais. Giant Freaking Robots' Nick Venable reports that the Zombieland series is slated to be directed by Eli Craig, who directed the awesome movie Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. A horror comedy director does a horror comedy series? If that doesn't make you chipper, I don't know what will. You see what I did there? Chipper? And now for our ridiculous interview with author Mike Cole. Mike made his splash in the world of military fantasy with his debut novel, Shadow Ops: Control Point. Shadow Ops is a wild mashup of superheroes, special ops, and action, all rolled up in a Middle-earth tortilla. Guns, monsters, magic, and action. The sequel, Fortress Frontier, is in stores January 29th. Author Mark Lawrence, who penned the novel Prince of Thorns, says that Fortress Frontier is, quote, the best ride that military fantasy has to offer. You definitely want to get on board. End quote. Mike, give me a verbal tweet as to why your book is awesome.
Black Hawk Down meets the X-Men. Military fantasy like you've never seen it before.
Can you give us two authors that have influenced your work?
If I had to pick two authors that really influenced Shadow Ops: Fortress Frontier, it would have to be Peter V. Brett and Jack Campbell. Peter V. Brett for just general prose styling and an incredibly clip-tight, fast, active narrative, which is something that really helps in a military novel. And Jack Campbell for a career as a Navy officer, showing in every stroke of the pen as he writes about the space-aged equivalent in his Lost Fleet books.
Last week, we had author John Scalzi do a haiku from the perspective of his main character. Can you top the Baconator's effort?
Monsters all around. Out of rounds, but I've got spells. No rounds, no problem.
Finally, and most importantly, can you tap your head and rub your belly at the same time? Thanks, Mike. You can learn more about Mike at mikecole.com. And finally, as if we didn't have enough zombie news this week, The Walking Dead gets stiff once again. Please tell me you at least got that joke. Everyone's favorite Happy Time show returns for the second half of Season 3 with 8 lighthearted, family-friendly episodes. Season 3's Episode 9, The Suicide King, premieres on AMC on February 10th, 2013. We close out with 60 seconds of Brian and Justin debating Super-Poo, then finish with the Man of Steel trailer that no one has ever seen. Ever! Okay, maybe a few people have seen it. Until next week, I'm Scott Sigler, and buy my books or I'll have Superman reverse Earth's rotation, which somehow makes time go backwards. Yes, that actually happened in a movie. No concerns about the level of science education in America, right? Take it away, Brian.
I'm Justin Robert Young.
I'm Brian Brushwood. You got 90 seconds. Go.
New posters for Man of Steel. You excited? Want to go see it?
Nope. No,
Why?
I'm not. Because Superman Returns ruined it for me. This mopey creeper peeking in windows, getting shot in the eye with bullets, little half a Jesus guy. I'm
Why
done.
would you hold Bryan Singer's homoerotic fan fiction against what is a completely new creative team? The script was worked on by Nolan himself, the godfather of the Godfather films of comic book movies, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Now, keep in mind, the question wasn't whether I'll go see it. The question was whether I'm excited about it. And
yes,
I'm
just
just
saying, why should those sins be held against it?
because it's got stink. He's got Krypto
Superman's
poop.
got stink?
He's got stank all up on it, and he's radiating his green Krypton poo. And I'm just like, I don't like that flavor right now. It's like, give me more of the Avengers. I want to go live in Marvel land. And now you come with your Sonic
Until
Boom.
there's one bad Marvel movie, and then you're like, I'm done. I'm done with that. Even though there's all new directors and actors and writers.
That is 100% right and accurate. And we're out of time.
Poop.
The world's too big, Mom.
Then make it small. Focus on my voice. Pretend it's an island out in the ocean. Can you see it?
I see it.
My son was in the bus. He saw what Clark did.
You have to keep this side of yourself a secret.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe. I have so many questions. Where do I come from? You just have to decide what kind of man you want to grow up to be, Clark. Whoever that man is, he's going to change the world.
that if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me. He was convinced that the world wasn't ready. What do you think?